Get started coming into a child's pose. If you'd like, you can grab one of those blocks. Again, just a set of blocks, a bolster. If you'd like to use a strap as well, we'll have some opportunities to incorporate that. Drawing your hips toward your heels. You can rest your forehead or your chin on a block or on the floor. Stretching your fingertips out long in front past the crown of your head. Focusing here on your breathing, deep inhales, deep exhales. Maybe setting an intention for class today. Good morning, welcome, happy Friday. We made it. You'll need a set of blocks and a bolster or a pillow, and you can also grab a strap if you'd like. We're just settling into child's pose to begin, drawing your knees towards the edges of your mat, hips in towards your heels, stretching your fingertips out long past the crown of your head towards the top of your mat, maybe past your mat depending on where you're having a seat at. You're welcome to place a bolster or a block underneath your forehead, coming in towards your breath. If you have a block or a bolster underneath your forehead, go ahead and set it off to the side. We're going to walk our fingertips over to the left side of our mat, actively pressing your right hip in towards your right heel. Feeling that deep stretch all along the right side body. You're welcome to hold both hands on the floor. If you'd like to bind your left hand around towards your right hip, opening up your left shoulder, you're welcome to do so. Hold it here for one more breath. If you have your left arm extended, go ahead and, if you have it binded, go ahead and extend it back out long. Walk your hands through center over to the right side of your mat, maybe off your mat. Option here to release your right hand, bind around towards your left hip as you actively press your left hip in towards your left heel, feeling that deep stretch all along the side body. And if you have your arm binded, go ahead and draw it back out to meet your left. Walk your hands back through center with your forehead still on towards the floor. Just bending your elbows, bringing your palms to touch the crown of your head, maybe drawing them towards the nape of your neck, feeling that tricep stretch. Hold it here for a breath. Gently release your palms back down to the floor. Rising up, coming into a tabletop position. If you'd like, you can place a block underneath each wrist, bringing that earth closer up towards you. Still with your wrists under your shoulders, knees under your hips. Let's do a few cat and cows here with your breath. Tuck your toes, hammock your belly down towards the floor. Lift your gaze. Spiral your elbow creases and deep inhale. On your exhale, untuck your toes, round your spine. Pressing the earth away, pressing in towards your palms. Coming through neutral spine, tuck your toes, lift your gaze. Exhale, untuck your toes, round your spine. Continue to keep the top joints portion of your feet pressed in towards the floor as you come through neutral spine. Hammock your belly, deep inhale, coming back through cow. Feet flat on the floor. Round your spine, deep exhale. One more time with your feet flat on the floor, coming through neutral spine, hammock your belly, lift your gaze. On your exhale, round your spine. Coming back to neutral spine, maybe bump your hips side to side, moving here in any organic movement that feels comfortable in your body today. You can move from left to right, right to left, maybe forwards and backwards. Coming back through center with your hands on the floor or on blocks, gently rotate your fingertips towards the outer edges of your mat. You're welcome to hold it here if you'd like, maybe rotate side to side. Come back to center, bring your fingertips back towards the top of your mat. Flipping your left palm up towards the ceiling, right palm stays down towards the floor. You're welcome to hold it here if you'd like, maybe draw your hips towards your heels and then rock it forward. You can also move side to side. Moving back through center, flip your left palm down towards the floor, bringing your right palm up towards the ceiling. Option to hold it here, maybe rocking side to side if that feels comfortable on your right wrist. Maybe drawing your hips towards your heels and then rocking forward. Noticing what feels different on your right wrist compared to your left wrist. Coming back through center, flip your right palm down towards the floor. Starting with the left side, draw your left elbow wide, gaze up, past your left elbow, gazing up. Gently rotate that left elbow down towards your right wrist. Inhale, lengthen, left elbow up towards the ceiling, opening up that chest and shoulder. Exhale, tap left wrist. Inhale, rise. Exhale, tap. One more time, then we'll draw it left arm through, reach your left arm high. Exhale, draw it under and through the right side body, maybe gently releasing your left cheek or ear to the block or to a floor. Holding here and breathing. Gently press up with your right hand, reach your left arm high, deep inhale. Exhale as you release your left hand to the floor or block. Inhale, reach your right elbow high. Exhale, reach your right elbow to your left wrist. Inhale, reach. Exhale, tap. Two more. Inhale, reach. Exhale, tap. Inhale, reach. Reach your right arm high. Exhale, draw it all the way under and through the left side body, maybe releasing your right cheek or ear towards the floor, maybe onto the block. As you press into your left hand, gently rise up, reach your right arm high. Exhale, release that right palm down. If you're using blocks, go ahead and set them over to the side. Make sure they're not obstructing your view. From tabletop position, walk your hands up, palm print forward. Rock your shoulders over your wrist. Keep the elbows tucked in. We're going to lower down for 3, 2, and 1. Gently release all the way down. Release your toes with your wrist directly under your shoulders. From here, pressing up, mini cobra. Elbows stay tucked in towards your body. Gently release back down. Inhale, lift. Gently lower down. Keeping your left hand boxed out, extend your right arm long from your right hip. Relax your right leg, maybe wiggle your right toes, maybe your right thigh, relax that right leg. Option 1, lift your left leg high, holding it here, keeping the connection with your left hip. Option 2 is to lift that left hip, rocking onto the outer edge of your right hip, coming into broken wing. You can bend that left knee, gently releasing your right cheek or ear towards the floor. Feeling that stretch in your right shoulder and in your left hip. You'd like to deepen that stretch in your right shoulder, You can also bend your right elbow coming into a half cactus. Also extend and bend your left leg. Gently coming back onto your belly, exactly how you got there. Releasing both hips on the floor, walk your right hand to your right shoulder, gently press up mini cobra. Release back down. From here, keep your right hand boxed out. Extend your left arm long out from your left shoulder. Relax that left leg. Maybe wiggle your thigh, your foot, anything to relax it. Option 1, lift that right leg high, keeping your right hip pressed in towards the floor. You want to come deeper into this stretch. Lift that right hip, gently rocking onto the outer left hip. You can bend that right knee. You can just gently release your left cheek or ear towards the floor. Holding here and breathing, broken wing. Can't talk this morning. Option to bend that left elbow coming into a half cactus. Really feeling the opening of your left shoulder and your right hip. You can also extend and bend the right leg, maybe tap your toes, lift your toes to the ceiling. Taking note of any differences that you feel on this side versus the opposite side. Gently bring your right foot down if you had it lifted, rocking back onto your belly. From here, walking your left hand back under your shoulder, press up, mini cobra. Release back down. Walk your hands to your lowest rib cage, pressing all the way up, full cobra. If you'd like to come into upward facing dog, you can lift your thighs, pressing the top shoelace portion of your foot in towards the floor. Gaze remains up towards the ceiling or directly in front. Gently look over your left shoulder. Come back through center. Exhale, look over your right shoulder. Come back through center. Gently bring your gaze forward. We're going to lower down, coming back onto our belly, releasing all the way down. Walk your hands past your hips toward your toes. Pinkies in, thumbs out, palms facing down. Bring your feet hip width apart and parallel. If they were a little bit more separated, we're going to lift and lower for locust. Lifting high for 3. Gently lower down. Keeping your gaze towards the floor. That's 2. Last one. See if you can lift even higher. We're going to hold it here for 3, 2, and 1. Gently release down. Walk your hands back on your shoulders. Give me 1 mini cobra here. Press up. Elbows stay tucked in. Maybe lift your palms. Gently release back down. Go ahead and bring your hands out in front like a wide elbow stance. Bringing your right palm over your left. And then just gently bringing your left cheek or ear towards your right palm. We're going to walk our right knee up, coming into half frog. Drawing that right knee up towards your right hip, your right rib cage, maybe your right elbow. Opening up the hips, using the floor as a splint. You're welcome to stay here with your left ear, cheek onto the floor. You can also draw your chin in towards your palms, bringing your gaze past the top of your mat. You can also gently come onto the right cheek or ear, feeling that rotation in your upper body. Try to relax your toes. If you're flexing them or clenching them, just wiggle your toes, relax them. Notice the different sensations you feel as you relax your feet. Gently lift your gaze, releasing your right knee back in line with your right hip. Stacking your left palm on top of the right, or you can just do the reverse of what you previously did. And then gently drawing your left knee up towards your left hip, left rib cage, maybe your left elbow. Gently releasing your right cheek or ear towards the floor. You can keep your left heel in close to your body or extend it as far away as you'd like. Yourself pressing in towards your mat as you exhale with each release of a breath. You're welcome to stay here with your right cheek or ear onto the floor. Maybe bringing your gaze center, bringing your chin onto your palms. You can also gently draw your left cheek or ear towards the floor or your palm, feeling that twist in your upper body. Continue to relax your feet. Gently bring your gaze back to center. Release that left leg in line with your left hip. Bring your hands once again to your lowest rib cage. We're going to press ourselves back, coming into child pose. This time keeping your knees hip width apart and parallel. Send your palms out front, just letting your head fall in between your arms. Hold it here for one more breath. Gently rock forward, stacking your hips over your heels. From here, we're going to walk our arms out, coming into puppy dog, releasing your forearms onto the floor or onto blocks. You can keep your chin lifted. You can also release your forehead onto the floor. Hips are stacked directly over your knees. Stretch all along your shoulders, maybe reaching an inch or more past the crown of your head. Hold it here for one more breath. Full exhale. Gently walk your hands back in. We're going to find a tabletop position. You walk your knees in, walk your hands in. From here, wrists directly under your shoulders, knees under your hips. We're going to use those blocks again, so make sure they're close by. Extend your right leg straight back. Point your right toe. We're going to lower and lift for 3. Keep your navel pulled in towards your spine. 2 more. Last one. Draw that right leg straight back. Round your spine as you draw your right knee in toward your nose. Step that right foot in between your palms. You're welcome to use blocks here on any setting. From here, we're going to straighten that right leg. Press your hips back, flex your right toes. And then press it forward, bang into that knee. Opening up that left hip. You can walk it back. Again, using whatever props Feel good with you in this stretch today. Gently releasing your forehead down towards your knees. Kneeling pyramid pose. Wherever you are, gently rise up. Bend back into your right knee. From here, we're going to find lizard, opening up our hips one more time. Gently rock your toes towards the outer edge of your mat. Your right toes are turned to about 2 o'clock, give or take. You can release your hands down to the floor. You're also welcome to keep them on blocks. You can stay upright, pressing into that right hip, allowing your left hip to open. You can also come down onto the floor, bringing your forearms onto blocks or onto the floor. If you like to deepen that stretch, you can tuck your left toes, gently lifting your left knee up off the floor. Wherever you are, hold it for one more breath. Walking your hands under your shoulders, on the floor, or on blocks. Gently bring your right hand to the inside of your right knee. Gently press that right knee open, rocking onto the outer knife edge of your right foot. Maybe bringing your gaze over your right shoulder. The left knee can be lifted or just gently relaxed on the floor. Gently come back to center. Release your right hand onto the floor. We're going to step that right leg straight back. From here, we're going to curtsy that right leg up and over to the outer left edge. Pressing the ball of your right foot in towards the floor. To deepen that stretch, you can gently press your right heel in towards the floor. To lessen that stretch, you can gently rock the ball of your foot or towards your toes. Maybe looking over your left shoulder, seeing your right foot. Gently release your right knee back in line with your hip. Keep your right knee bent, draw a few circles. And of course, what you do in one direction, just reversing. Gently release that right knee down towards the floor. Extend your left leg long. Point your left toes. We're going to lower and lift for 3. Draw your navel deep in your spine, up to the crown of your head, keeping your core engaged. 1 more. Pulling that left leg extended, deep inhale. Exhale as you round your spine, drawing your left knee in towards your chest. You bring it towards your nose. Step it through your palms. You can walk that foot out further or keep it just where it's at. Option to grab those blocks. Pressing your hips back, straightening that left leg. Maybe flexing your left toes, releasing your quad and your hamstrings. You can rock forwards and backwards. You can hold the hips back. Maybe bringing your nose towards your knee with that left leg straight. Walk the blocks back towards your knee. You can hold them forward. Next inhale, gently rise up. Bend into that left knee if you previously had it straight. Keeping those blocks nearby if you like to use them. Bring your left hand to the inside of your left foot and then gently walk your left toes to the outer edge of your left mat. Left toes turn to 10 o'clock. So you don't want them completely parallel, you want them slightly turned out. Gently pressing into that left hip. You are welcome to stay here. Keeping your body upright, hands on the floor, hands on the blocks. You can also come down onto your forearms with or without those blocks. Wherever you are, you're also welcome to tuck your right toes, lifting your right knee, allowing that right hip to open up just a little bit more. Staying wherever you are or playing with any of those variations of lizard. Gently walk your hands back under your shoulders. Right hand remains on the floor or on a block. Releasing your left hand to the inside of your left knee. Rocking onto that outer edge of your left foot. Maybe gently looking over your left shoulder. Your right knee can be lifted or pressing in towards the floor. On your inhale, gently come back to center, releasing your left hand under your shoulders. Extend your right leg straight back. Draw that left leg over to the outer left. Game left and right for a second. Draw that left leg to the outer right hip here, feeling that curtsy side stretch in your outer left hip. To deepen the sensation, you can press your right heel in towards the floor. If you'd like to lessen that sensation, you can gently rock to your toes, the ball of your foot. Maybe looking over your right shoulder, seeing your left toes. On your next inhale, gently release that left knee back underneath your hip. Drawing a few circles with your left knee remaining bent. And reverse. Gently release that left knee down. We're going to go ahead and have a seat. Option to use a block under your hips if you'd like. You can sit crisscross applesauce. You can draw the soles of your feet to touch. Any variation that's comfortable for you today. From here, release release both arms overhead. Deep inhale, deep exhale. Bend your elbows, lift your gaze, cactus. Inhale, rise. Exhale, cactus. Inhale, left gaze comes forward. Release your left hand to your right knee. Right hand comes behind you, twisting, looking over your right shoulder. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, release your right hand to your left knee. Left hand comes behind you. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, side bend over to the right side, left bicep to left ear. You can release your right hand to the floor or to a block. Bend your left elbow, cactus. Spread your fingertips wide. Inhale, lengthen. Rise up. Use your core. Both arms overhead. Give me one cactus. Lift your gaze. Draw your shoulder blades together. Inhale, rise. Release your left hand down to the floor to a block to your outer left hip. Bend over to the right side, right bicep to right ear. Gently draw your right elbow down. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, lift. Both arms overhead. Give me one cactus. Inhale, lift. Release your right hand down to the floor or to that block. Left bicep to left ear. Bend your left elbow. Extend. Hold the connection with your right ear and your right shoulder. Gently rise up, stacking your shoulders over your hips. From here, extend your left arm down, palm facing up. We're going to draw a few circles here with your left hand. That right hand remains on the floor or on a block. Reverse the direction. Feeling that stretch all along the left side body. From your fingertips down to your hip. Then release your left hand down. Bring your gaze back through center. Bring your left ear to your left shoulder. Come back through center. Sweep your arms up high overhead. Deep inhale. Exhale, cactus. Inhale, lift gaze forward. Exhale, bend the elbows, lift your gaze. Imagine there's a pencil between your shoulder blades. Squeeze them together. And release. Starting to the left side, release your left hand down to the floor or to a block. Right bicep to right ear. Bend over left side. Your right elbow, spread your fingertips nice and wide. Deep stretch. And extend. Gently rise up. Release your right hand down to the floor. Left bicep to left ear. Deep side bend over to the right. Bend the left elbow. And extend. Rise up. Left hand comes down to the floor to a block. Right arm overhead. Bend your right elbow. And extend. Hold the connection, left ear to left shoulder. Gently rise up, stacking your shoulders over your hips. Release your right hand down, palm facing up. Maintain that connection, left shoulder, left ear. Gently draw large, slow circles with your right hand. Left arm just release down by your side. Reversing that direction. From here, gently rise up. Release your right shoulder to your right ear. Come back through center. Roll your shoulders up towards your ears. Pull them back behind you, opening up your chest and down. One more time, just like that. Shoulders roll up towards your shoulders, towards your ears, and down. Let's reverse that direction. Opening up your chest, draw your shoulders back, up towards your ears, and forward. One more time, just like that. Release down. Now sweep your arms up high overhead. Give me one cactus. Bend your elbows. Imagine that pencil. Feel it. Hold it. Hold it here for one more breath. Deep inhale. And exhale. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, release your hands down by your sides. If you're having a seat on the block, go ahead and set it off to the side. If you want to use a strap, I almost said band. If you want to use a strap, I'm going to put my strap. If you want to use a strap, now is a great opportunity to do so. Extend your right leg long. We're going to come into a single leg stretch. Sole of your left foot in towards your right leg. Maybe draw your hips side to side, making sure you're on both sit bones. Reach your arms up high overhead. Release your right hand to the inside of your right leg. Left arm comes up high overhead. If you'd like, with that left hand, you can bind it around your right foot. Side bend, deepening that stretch. Depending on where you want to hold that strap, it'll deepen your stretch here. Keeping the shoulders stacked. Gently rise up. Release your left hand behind your hip. We're going to press our hips up, coming to stargazer. Keep your left knee bent, right leg long. Reach your right arm overhead to the back diagonal wall. Release your hips back down. From here, draw your arms up high overhead. Looking over your right foot, we're going to fold over the right leg. Also, great opportunity to use that strap if you like around the arch of your right foot, pulling yourself in towards your leg. You can also place a block behind your right foot to lengthening that stretch. Maybe bringing your nose towards your knee, heart towards your thigh. Rise up. Switching side, extend your left leg long, draw sole of your right foot in towards your right thigh. Maybe just rocking side to side, making sure both sit bones are pressed in towards the floor. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, release your left hand to the inside of your left leg. Reach your right arm high, keeping your right shoulder stacked over your left hip. Come here, Lola. Great opportunity for that strap if you want to get deeper into that side bend, gently wrapping around your arch. And with your right hand, grabbing that strap, any placement, the further you grab towards the handles, that's a lighter stretch. If you want to grab it closer towards your toes, deepening that stretch. Most important thing is that you want to keep your top right shoulder stacked over your left. Gently and slowly rise up, releasing your right hand behind your hip, keeping that right knee bent, left leg long. Inhale, lengthen, stargazer, pressing your hips forward. Your left toes can be flexed or relaxed. Gently release down. Bringing your left foot, sweeping your arms overhead, folding forward. Using whatever props you'd like, you can grab that strap, wrap it around your arch, folding forward. You can place a block behind the sole of your foot, deepening that stretch here. Actively framing your left leg and bringing your knees towards your nose. Rise up. From here, we're going to come into sleeping deer. So grab your bolster or your pillow, place it long ways on your mat. Draw your right hip directly up to that. You can also use 2 stacks of blocks here as well. You can place them underneath the bolster and use the blocks and the bolster. We're just going to lay down onto our bolster, our pillow, releasing your left cheek or ear to the floor. Some variations here. You can have your knees stacked directly in front of your hips. You can also draw your top right knee to the bottom of your sole of your left foot. You can also keep your right knee lifted and drawing the sole of your right foot in towards your left knee, allowing that right hip to draw down. Any variation that feels comfortable for you today. Gently rise up, slowly pressing yourself up. We're just going to switch sides, so gently bumping your right hip up towards that bolster or pillow, starting with stacking your knees. We're just going to lay down, placing your right cheek or ear on towards the floor. Same variations with your legs. You can draw your top leg down, so you're in like a 90-90 stretch. Sole of your bottom right foot press into your top left knee. You can keep your knees stacked. You can keep your top knee in front of your hip, drawing your bottom right leg down. Sole of your top left foot pressed in towards your bottom right knee. Gently rise up, pressing yourself slowly up. You can set that bolster off to the side. Go ahead and have a seat, bending your knees, bringing your arms out long. We're going to roll down slowly and controlled. Think 1 vertebrae at a time. The slower the better. Releasing all the way down. Extend your arms overhead. Extend your legs out long. Tiny arch in your back. On your exhale, gently releasing everything down and towards the floor and towards the mat. Walk your feet over to the right side of your mat. Gently crossing your left ankle over your right. Side bend your upper body over to the right side. Right hand grabs left wrist. Making yourself into a banana shape, bending over to the right side. Keeping both hips, both shoulders pressed in towards the floor. Hold it for the exhale. Gently walking your body back to center, upper and lower. Deep stretch, tiny arch in your back, deep inhale. Exhale, release everything down and towards the mat. With your arms still overhead, gently walk your feet over to the left side of your mat. Gently cross your right ankle over your left. Draw your upper body over to the left side. Left hand grabs right wrist. Deep side bend, trying to make your body into a crescent moon over to the left side. Maybe your limbs come off the mat. And breathing. Gently come back to center, releasing the binds of your feet and your hands. Bend your knees, walking your feet towards your hips, knees stacked directly over your feet, palms down by your side. We're going to lift and lower, release down, lift. One more time, keeping the shoulders pressed in towards the floor. Gently release down. Both hips on the floor, extend your right leg up towards the ceiling. Flex your right foot, bend your right knee, drawing your right ankle over your left thigh. Keeping that right foot flexed to protect your right knee. From here, lift your hips. Keeping that number 4 connection, gently release your hips down. Letting your hips fall over to the left side. Come back through center, over to the right side. One more time each side. Coming back through center, releasing your figure 4, releasing your right foot on towards the floor. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, release, tap down. One more bridge pose. Press up. And release. Both hips making connection to the floor. Inhale, lift your left leg high. Flex your left foot, bend your left knee, drawing your left ankle over your right thigh, keeping that left foot flexed to protect your left knee. Inhale, lengthen, lift your hips. Exhale, release down. With both hips on the floor, gently allowing your knees to fall over to the right. Come back through center, over to the left. Back through center, one more time each side. Center, release your left foot, pull out on the floor, draw your knees into your chest, curl yourself into a tiny ball. Grabbing your shins, maybe grabbing the back side of your thighs. You can roll side to side. Gently releasing your neck onto the floor with your knees tracking towards your shoulders. Gently draw shoulder feet up towards the ceiling, coming into happy baby. You can hold that connection, the back side of your thighs. You can also grab the outer knife edge of your feet. You're also welcome to grab a strap here and place it around both feet, holding onto the strap with each hand. Maybe rolling side to side. Coming back through center, keeping your right knee in towards your right shoulder, extend your left leg long. Single leg happy baby. Draw your right heel in towards your right glute, coming into wind removing pose, avoiding your rib cage, drawing your right knee in towards your right shoulder. Maybe circle out your ankle. Your left hand gently grab the outer edge of your right knee. Gently drawing your right knee over across the left side of your body. You can gently gaze over your right shoulder. Maybe extend your right arm long. You can also bend your left arm, palm facing up. Gently come back to center, keeping that right knee bent. Release the sole of your right foot to the inside of your left knee. Coming into reclined tree. You can draw cactus arms. You bring your arms overhead. Feeling that stretch all along your body. Hold it for the exhale. Gently draw both knees back into your chest. Curl yourself into a tiny ball. Grabbing shins or hamstrings. Release your neck flat on the floor. Keeping your knees bent. Draw the soles of your feet up towards the ceiling. Coming back to happy baby. Any variation that feels comfortable for you today. With or without a strap. Holding that connection with your left leg. Gently release your right leg long on the floor. Maybe it hovers, maybe it touches. Drawing your left heel in towards your left glute. Binding your hands beneath your left knee. Coming into wind removing pose on the left side. With your right hand, gently grab the outer left edge of your left knee. Gently pulling your left knee across the right side of your body. You can gently look over your left shoulder, maybe extend your left arm long. You can bend your elbow, draw into a half cactus. Gently come back to center, keeping the left knee bent, right leg long. Draw the sole of your left foot to the inside of your right leg. You can bring your hands by your side, palms facing up. And draw your arms overhead. Draw your knees back in towards your chest. Release your shoulders onto the floor. Send your legs up towards the ceiling. Reach your hands towards your toes, point, flex, circle out your wrists, circle out your ankles. Everything moving all class. And lowering one leg or both legs at the same time. Down towards the floor, slow and controlled using your lower abs. As your legs lower down, drawing your heels to touch, allowing your toes to fall open. Bringing your palms up, pinkies in, thumbs out. Squeeze your toes, squeeze your calves, your glutes. Clench your fists, draw your shoulders up towards your ears. And then allowing everything to relax. Holding here and breathing, allowing your belly to rise, belly to fall. And wiggling your fingers, wiggling your toes. Draw your knees back in towards your chest, curl yourself into a tiny ball. Rock and roll to your left or right side. Gently pressing yourself up, coming into a seated position. From here, release your arms overhead. Bring your hands to heart center. Maybe bringing your thumb towards your third eye. Gently coming into your breath. Thank you all so much for allowing me to share my practice with you each and every week. I wish you all an amazing weekend and week ahead. Have a fantastic day. Namaste.